Hey folks, welcome to Tully River Quail. I'm going to talk to you about baby quail feet. When you have your baby quail in the brooder, especially in the very beginning, and now what we do is we usually put them in this small brooder so we can concentrate the heat. But when you have them in there, you'll see that the poop builds up pretty quick. Now these guys are only 4 days old, so I usually move them over at 3 to the bigger brooder. But you got to look at their feet before you take them out and move them to their regular cage like we have here. Because sometimes they'll have some food and poop and stuff built up on their feet, and that'll harden, and then they'll get bumblefoot. And you know, it's best for these guys to start off with some clean, nice, perfect feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab a couple quail birdies and clean some feet for you and show you what we mean. Let me see if I can grab a guy. Easy, girls. So if you look at the bottom of the feet, there's some poopage on there. Now a lot of this stuff just falls off pretty easily, but the heel is where they have problems. This little part of their foot, and that's usually where you'll get the bumblefoot. And if you can't get that cleaned off, well, I'm sorry, it's hard to watch what I'm doing. See, there's still a little bit on that guy there. So what I like to do is I like to use this Epsom. Sorry if that's spelled backward. It almost looks like it's Russian. I'm not a Russian Putin plant. Well, who knows, maybe. So anyway, I'll squirt some of this on there, just on their feet. Though it's okay if you get it elsewhere. That's a good medicine to have around. We like to use that in the pectomore. And then I'll just use that to loosen up any of the dried stuff. Get it off their toes. Now it's pretty cold out here, so I'm kind of doing this under a heat lamp. And that's when I do it without having to video it. I do it under a heat lamp. But since it's still February. Now I'll do this for each chick just to make sure they're starting off in their new cage, because like I said, those, especially guys that don't have a real good brooder, they'll just use a box, and you know, you can put some paper in there. Our brooder over there is just a box with some drawer liner. Alright, then I'm going to squirt this off again with this antimicrobial. And then I'll take a piece of paper, blue towel. And like I said, I rarely let my brooder, that first brooder, get that bad, but yesterday was Grandma's birthday and we had to go to Carlisle. Alright, that looks good. Then we'll put him in with the rest of these guys under the heat plate. Get in there. And then another thing I like to do is just keep track of that was a white wing, so I like to keep track whether it's a jumbo brown, jumbo white wing, jumbo white, or a cinnamon, or one of our pandas. Let me see if I can show you a picture of one. There's one, the old stripe in there. It's basically a dotted white with a bigger dot. And you can see a dotted white over there with the dot. Alright folks, well that's it. Keep your quail feet clean, especially when you get them out of dirty brooders. And use this Epsom or something similar that's non-toxic. I guess you can use a little bit of vinegar water, but make sure you rinse it with regular water first. This stuff's great to have around. And like I said, also what we use is this Peck No More. Should you have somebody that gets in a fight, put that on their neck or their head, and it helps them from getting pecked on. We have a couple guys that got beat up in transit, so we keep a little emergency ward available for those guys. All right, waiting for this hatch in here. I got my hatch cam in there waiting for those guys to hatch, so we got another thing going. We have to get this brooder cleaned out. I'm trying to move them all over, and that's that. So stay free. Over and out.